So I want to talk about that, because what you just saw is what trying to invent a video at a desk looks like for me. And the reason it looks like that is that ideas don't actually live at the desk, and they never have. I was just trying to find them there because that's where the work is supposed to happen. The truth is, most of the actual thinking happens when I'm not trying to think. A lot of it happens on runs. Something about the rhythm and the breathing. Half an hour in, a thought I've been thinking for the past couple of days will just kind of arrive, and I have to try to remember that until the very end of the run to be able to write it down. A lot of it also happens in the shower, which is a cliche, but for a reason. I don't have a system for that one. I just kind of get out faster than I plan to, trip across the apartment and write whatever I need to write down before it leaves me. Walking, driving, the middle of a flight, right before sleep, that's one is a little bit tricky because I always think I'll remember that in the morning and I never do. The other place is when I'm watching something really good. I'll be halfway through an episode of Better Call Saul and something on the screen will just hit me. A shot, a sound design, the way a scene refuses to cut when you expect it to, and I'll feel this thing that's halfway between admiration and impatience. I want to do that, not just copy it. I want to do the version of that lives inside my work. Those are the most valuable ideas I get, and I don't get them at the desk. I get them while I'm being a fan of somebody else's work. The trick is to write them down the second they show up, because the version of the idea you have in the moment is way better than the version you'll remember 20 minutes later. Most of what's on my iPad doesn't look like writing. It looks like a wall of receipts, scraps, half sentences, a drawing I won't be able to read in a week. It's not supposed to look pretty. It's supposed to be there when I come back for it. Before I go further, I want to be honest about something. Not every video needs to come out of a pile of fragments. Some videos are just deliveries of information. A review of a camera, a tutorial, a spec rundown. Those videos exist to teach you a thing, the thing is clear, and the cleanest way to do it is a short bulleted list and a clean voiceover on top. There is nothing wrong with that kind of videos. People want them, they're useful, but I just don't want to make those videos. The videos I do want to make are the other kind, and the reason has nothing to do with filmmaking philosophy. It is much simpler than that. We are emotional beings. The whole reason movies exist, the whole reason any of this exists, going back to people telling stories around a fire, is to make a person feel something. That's the entire job. Pictures and sounds arranged in a way that makes a stranger feel something they weren't feeling 30 seconds ago. A bulleted list can teach you a thing. It cannot make you feel a thing. Different tool, different job. When I think about a video that actually changed how I see the world, none of them were lists. They were stories. Somebody's first something, somebody's biggest failure, somebody's trying to figure out what they were doing with their life on camera. I remember those. I don't remember the specs of any cameras anyone has ever reviewed. So this is where the desk comes back in. The desk isn't where I have ideas. The desk is where I open up the iPad and look at everything I've already collected and start figuring out what fits with what. When I sit down to make a video, I'm almost never starting from nothing. I'm starting from a pile. The first thing I do is read through the pile and look for the fragments that want to be in the same room. A thought I had on a run last week, a line I wrote down watching an episode of something, a memory that surfaced in the shower. None of them are a video on their own. 2 or 3 of them next to each other start to be one. The work at the desk is curation. Pull out the pieces that belong together, throw the rest back. The thing they add up to, that's the video. I wanna skip the part where I tell you there is a clever test for whether the idea is good. There isn't one. When the right fragments find each other, you know it, you feel it, you stop second guessing, you start wanting to actually make the thing instead of think about making the thing. If you are still second guessing, keep collecting. The pile isn't big enough, or the connection isn't there yet. Both are fine, both pass with time. One thing I do even when nobody is asking me to, once the video has a shape, I try to come up with a little cinematic sketch for the open. A short visual moment that gets you into the video without me having to explain anything. Strictly speaking, I do not need one. A lot of videos work fine without one. I just love filming them. The truth is that most of why I'm doing any of this, I love setting up a shot. I love figuring out how to say a thing in pictures instead of in words. When I get to start a video with a little piece of actual filmmaking, the whole thing is more fun to make, and I think more fun to watch. So I sketch it right there on the iPad. 3 or 4 panels, nothing fancy. Just enough that when I get to shoot, I know what I'm hunting for. Once I have the fragments arranged and the sketch drawn, the script almost writes itself. The reason a blank page used to beat me is I was trying to fill it before I knew what was supposed to go in it. Now the page isn't blank, it's already most of the way there. The actual shape of the script is different every time. I don't have a fixed structure I lean on. I'm always trying to experiment with how a video is built, different openings, different orders, different ways of getting in and out. The shape is part of what I'm making, not a template I'm pouring content into. The only real rule I have is this: the video either has to be useful or I have to like it personally. If one of those is true, I keep going. If neither is, I stop. I don't think about the audience when I write. I know that's the opposite of the advice everybody gives, but it's the truth. The second I start writing for an imagined viewer, the work gets worse. So I just don't. The last step, and this is the one I will not skip anymore, I read the script out loud, top to bottom, before I touch a camera. This is where bad scripts die. A sentence can look great on the page and choke when you try to say it. A joke can be a joke in writing and a long, uncomfortable beat out of your mouth. You only catch it by hearing it. Anywhere I stumble, I rewrite. The script is wrong, not me. The script has to fit my actual mouth. Here's the whole thing in one line, in case you take only one thing from this video. Stop trying to have ideas at the desk. Have them in the shower, on a run, watching something you love, anywhere your brain isn't trying to be productive. Write them down the second they show up. The desk is where you arrange what you already collected, not where you summon something from nothing. The next video is going to be about AI that I'm using, although I hate it. See ya.